Well, Gary, there's been two games in close succession with Albion Rovers. In terms of today's game, what was your reflections from the last time you played them, the learnings that you taken from that, and you wanted to put into this game?
No, I think the biggest problem today is the first half we never got going, which it shouldn't happen in the first game of a season. Everything was right, preparation was right, training was right, but for whatever reason, we simply never got going. We made mistakes. So many individuals made uncharacteristic mistakes, and everything that you could possibly not want to happen to you in any game, let alone the first game of the season, happened to us in the first half. And although the second half was better, the damage was done in the first half.
Yeah, I think, and to be fair, you would say yourself it was a rash penalty conceded by Danny.
Yeah, it's a stonewall. I thought the one we got was a penalty as well. I thought the referee got both of them correct. But yeah, when you just dangle your foot and there's always a chance that you've got to get away a penalty. I'd rather somebody went for a wholehearted tackle, missed the ball, took the guy out, and then you think at least these wee dangly legs, I don't like them. But no, it was a definite penalty, and for us having had probably the first chance of the game and thinking in the first 3 or 4 minutes, yeah, we'd start settled all right here, that just completely knocked us. And we never recovered for it, if I'm being honest. We never recovered for that.
Equally 5 minutes to go towards the end of the half, you're maybe thinking about just getting them in, getting a chat with them, and then just again a defensive error, or maybe just an error in the middle third of the pitch.
Yeah, just a miscontrol of the ball,
yep.
And before you know it, we're in a wide area crossing the ball in. Ball gets cleared, we miscontrol it, and before you know it, you're 2-0 down. So obviously then it's a real big ask to get back into the game. We done better in the second half, but still nowhere near good enough over the course of the game. You probably have a chance to really have a go at them with 12 or 13 minutes to go when you get a penalty, and probably sums up our day that we missed the penalty as well.
Yeah, and was it a concern, I suppose, at the end of the first half, looking back, there hadn't been a shot on target either? Yeah,
no, it is, it's something, and as I say, it's in the previous games, what you can say is, although the results haven't been what we wanted, we've still been creating chances, but in the first half, apart from the first 3 or 4 minutes from memory, and even then it never resulted in a shot, so no, that's concerning. What did please me was that in the second half it looked a lot more threatening. John came on and made a difference, and he can be pleased with his 45 minutes, and the team sort of responded from that, but you can't start playing it in the second half, and they're well aware of that. I've told them that, and there's not much more I can add to that just now, actually.
Yeah, I think, as you say, the bright spot in the afternoon was the introduction of John from the second half, and immediately, he was looking to make things happen. He was chasing them down maybe a bit quicker this half than the first half.
Yeah, you look at Uzi in the first half, it's hard to judge him because we never got the ball to him, we never created a chance, whereas in the second half, when the players have lifted their performance a bit, it's resulted in John being on the pitch and being involved in stuff. Yeah. So no, that was probably one highlight of the day. At this moment in time, I'm struggling to think of too many others. Yeah. As I say, the second half was better, but I don't like when a team only starts to play when the game's behind. I want the team to play in the front foot for the start. And whenever today, and Albion Rovers, they deserve to win the game.
Another talking point will be the 25-minute delay to the start of the second half. You were part of the talks before that half started, but can you just give us what your thoughts were, what had been reported back to you from the team?
I never actually knew, and it was the players said to me, Gaffer, they've got one of their players doing the line. So nobody had actually came and informed us of what was happening. And my first thought was, well, that can't be right, because what if he's going to be biased to his own team? Yeah. So then I just went across and asked the chairman, could he try and find out what the rules were? Yep. He went in to speak to the referees at Observer. I think they must have phone calls and stuff like that.
Well, there was 2 phone calls. There was one made to the SPFL, there was one made to the Referees Association.
I think what I do think, listen, I know it's difficult times, COVID and stuff, but we need to have somebody else in case an injury can happen or that, to be put in a position where the 3 options that we get are we can referee the line or man the line. Yeah. Albion can, or you can let the referee do it. I don't think that's right for a professional level of Scottish football. The referee's in a no-win situation. And And I just thought at that time my decision was to let the referee do it, because I just thought if we had put our own person on there and we had made a comeback and all sort of things would have been thrown against us.
Yeah.
What I did want to make clear to Brian and his assistant Scott was, ask them, would you have done the same in my situation? If you had been at us 2-0 down, this is 100%. This is if you had just walked onto the pitch for the second half and we had seen one of your officials or one of your players going to do the line for the second half, this is we'd have done the exact same. Once the chairman reports back to us what the league have said, you've got to get on with the game, eh? So when you're left with the three options, you do the line, Albion do the line, or the ref does the line. I think it's only fair that the referee does it, and then there's no...
And
there's
to be fair,
nothing in favour.
The second half, there was nothing.
No, listen, I thought the penalty was a penalty. There was one that you could maybe say, did the ball go over the line? But even if you had a linesman, because of where it happened at the far post, if the lineman had been on that side, I think the goalie would have blocked his view of the ball anyway. So I don't think. Well, I know for a fact not having a linesman never altered anything in the game, but I don't think it's right that when you're in a professional game, if an official gets injured or ill or hurt or whatever can happen, I don't think it's right then that you just drop down to having two officials.
Yeah, and on that goal line decision, to be fair, none of them were City players.
No, listen, and I think because we spoke to the players and says, look, it's got to be difficult for the ref. Don't be getting booked for dissent about. Listen, the referees, it's hard enough game for them to actually manage the game. Never mind having to try and make decisions on the line. So the referee that stepped in, I've got nothing about him. The referee that's injured, I hope it's not a bad injury. I just don't think, for a professional standard of football, that there isn't somebody that can cover. Now, what we asked was, and I may be wrong, we asked, well, how about if the referee that's injured came out, sat in a chair, and just spoke into the mic or put his flag up when the ball went out to play, and we were informed that when the referee indicates that he can no longer officiate, that he's not allowed to come back onto the field of play. And I'm just thinking, well, common sense, he's neutral, just sit him at the halfway line and put his flag up and say the ball's in or the ball's out. Now, all right, he can't run up and do the offside for the referee, but the referee can maybe manage to do that. But at least the ref on the pitch in the second half would have had a... But listen, that's not the reason we got beat.
No.
Listen, so you've asked me my opinion on that, I'm giving my opinion, and I don't have any blame to the officials whatsoever. They're in an impossible situation there. But that's not the reason we got beat. We got beat because we weren't at it in the first game of the season, and that's the concern for me.
Okay, well, thanks for explaining that decision. I'm sure the fans will know, what they want to know as part of the interview process as well today. And we'll look onwards to our next game at Forfar.
Cheers, Carl.
Thanks.